Okay, so since I was cleaning up, putting things away, thought I'd take the opportunity since it was available to show the camp kitchen I've put together for me and Mr. Atwood. Okay, now for you newer folks for the SCA, camping events are a thing. There's not always easily accessible restaurants, stuff like that. Plus, that's expensive. So this is a good thing to put together for yourself. And it's pretty affordable. Now, you might have something from your regular camping gear. No biggie. I actually have two setups. One is for when it's me and Mr. Atwood. One is for when it's really just me. We have different cooking preferences, right? When it's just me, I'm really simple as far as like what I need. I'm also much smaller and compact. Okay. So, do the bigger kitchen first. Now, this is not complete. This is kind of scaled down from what ours used to be. Kind of mid-road, makes Mr. Atwood happy as far as like stability, safety, things like that for what they feel is necessary. And then has some extras to it. But it is just this box. Okay? There's still room for putting in dry goods, stuff like that. Okay? So, not complete. However, a lot of little stuff to it. So, okay, open this up. And then, give you a second here. I'll show you. This is currently how it is. Okay, not a whole lot to it. Pretty simplistic. Still a couple things that need to go into it, but we'll kind of go over it all and I'll show you what we got. All right. Put you back here. Maybe tilt you down a little. There we go. All right. First and foremost, portable gas stove. This is one of those kind of countertop butane stoves. And it's upside down. Okay. Pretty simple. I haven't really had a chance to use it yet. That's why it's still got the plastic on it and stuff. However, this round sets in there. Has a nice little thing. It is a butane stove. Okay. Very simple, very lightweight. Picked it up on sale at Menards. Okay. I mean, it's so simple. It's still got in basic. Still got all the packaging. All right. So what it does, you get some of these, small, lightweight, work really well. Actually lasts quite a bit. Goes in. Won't go through the whole process, but plugs in there, clips in, turned it on, light, just like if you had a gas stove. Okay. But so one of the nice parts in it is basically it will sit nice and steady, nice and sturdy, just like if you're a stove at home. So it can sit on a table, it can sit on the ground. You don't have to move it around a lot to level it out. This particular insert holds the different size pots. It's got the little tabs that kind of keep things from sliding around. Very, very basic. Okay. Mr. Atwood prefers something like this, or like the bigger Coleman stoves that have the 2 burners and stuff on it for stability. Okay. Also being able to do larger pots and pans. Okay. Then this. here. Let's close this up. Probably should put a little tab that says top, but okay. So we're cooking, and then we're sitting in here. Currently, just have 2 fuel cans. All right. Next part. This is for food prep. Okay. Bamboo cutting board. It was, I think, right at the $5. Came from the Buck for 25 tree, which is now the House of Lies because they have up to $5 things. However, that's cheaper than Walmart, a whole bunch of other places. Nice bit about the bamboo stuff is it's antimicrobial, I think. So pretty easy to clean off, take care of. I haven't bothered unwrapping it yet because why worry about it until you're ready to use it, okay? Keep it neat. Originally, it just had this little plastic cutting board in it. Still can, that way you can cut meat, cut your veggies, different things. Pretty simple. Also have one of these cork heat pads from IKEA. Right? Nice to have a thing to set your stuff on while it's hot and not burn the table that you put so much time and effort into painting or doing whatever. Okay, or melting one of those plastic ones. Okay. Also from the Buck Bitty tree, just some bamboo tools. These really just take some water. You can treat them a little with a little bit of oil, just to keep them clean, keep them from drying out. Easily replaceable too. Okay. Also, just kept in their packaging until we actually have time to go out and use it. I do have my wood spatula. Well, hold on. I gotta take a phone call. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. House hunting. Yay. Wood spatula. I actually got this at Chris Kender from a merchant. Wasn't super lot, but nice little, not metal, but more durable than the plastics. Nice little option. You're going to notice a lack of things in here. That's because this is still being put together the way we want it. Okay. Now into the actual cooking of thingies. These are remnants from my personal little bit. Itty bitty, like one sandwich grilled cheese pan. I actually got this from my stepdad. He had one. He really liked making his little single grilled cheese. So he got me one of these, and it actually fits on my little camp stove stuff just great. But it's actually, as long as you're careful, it's actually big enough to scramble up an egg, do some small pancakes, whatever. As long as you're careful. You can't really flip them that well though. But doing grilled cheeses and like little fry things, you could fry a small burger. Actually, not too bad a size burger. You cook that up. This is also a remnant from my emergency management days, doing stuff for my kind of take care of me bag. So it's actually a grease pot from Walmart. However, it has been rigged up for just regular cooking. So it has a little filter lid, which you can do coffee, you can drain pasta, all sorts of stuff. This is actually cooking twine that I wrapped around this handle. That way it could be sitting over open flame. I've cooked over campfires, all sorts of stuff with this thing. It's a little bitty charred up, but that is like stupid easy to replace. And it makes it so you can just grab it, pull it out. So I've even baked in this because you can basically put a little trivet in there and then have those muffins and muffin mix in a bag, kind of steam bake it. It's actually kind of fun to figure out the things you can cook in here. So you can also make coffee. You can boil up some water for other things. The trick with these things though is to wash them as soon as you can. One of the guys I used to do emergency stuff with, he had these little mini cast iron pots. They were like antique ones. As soon as he was done with whatever meal he was cooking for himself, because it was he had like a small little cast iron, little almost cauldron. He'd cook up chili, whatever. He would cook it out, and then he would, while it was still hot, he would pour hot water in there, rinse it out real quick, dump all the water out, and then he would take, a bit of just oil stuff, rub it on, set it back, done. And by the time he got that done, his food was hardly, cooled off at all. So, same with these things. Quicker you clean them off, the easier are to clean. So, you can have that, boiling some water, whatever. This is one of the Stanley French press coffee thermoses. So we got a couple of these. Got one for me, one for the father-in-law. Oh wow, that is gross. That didn't get cleaned out. I'm not going to show you the inside of that, but let's just say it's going in the wash. That's the other thing. It'll go in the wash. Kind of nice. This is most definitely going in the wash. But it's nice. You can have a thermos. You make your coffee, French press it, walk away. Okay. We won't tell Mr. Atwood about that. Okay. Let's see. First aid kit. Really, most accidents happen around cooking, things like that. This is just a stuffed up first aid kit. Got all your basics, nothing crazy. This is not some, you're going to perform field surgery thing. Yeah, nobody does that. But it's handy. Bizarrely enough, Staples had these little packages. They were like $5. And for a little while, they were less than that. So I'd gotten a couple because it's nice. Boom, here it goes. Says first aid kit. Had things different stuffed in, cars, whatnot. And it's pretty compact, ready to go. It has a little Velcro thing for sticking it onto like the Molly pouches and stuff like that. So I don't think I've had these for close to 10 years and I haven't torn one up yet. So it's kind of nice. Okay. There are other things that need to go in here, like some more pot pan type things, and then, some cutting utensils. Just haven't found the right ones to go in here yet. I have a couple that can. I just don't really pull them out until we're ready to go. Ideally, wouldn't be talking into that. I'd be talking towards you. Kind of go from here. Some Dr. Bronner's organic soap. Can wash in a bucket, dump the bucket. It's not going to kill the ground. Kind of nice. Simple. I've had this for quite a while. It doesn't take a lot. But it makes cleaning these things up nice and easy. So Mr. Atwood and I have a rather extensive spice collection. If it were actual, Middle Ages and stuff, we'd be rich. I mean, just the sheer amount of spice stuff we have. So for example, this particular container here I got at a place called Pathfinder in Manhattan. They do hiking gear and stuff like that. It was on clearance for like something stupid cheap. I mean, like we're talking like a couple bucks, that thing. But it's a little ultralight camping kit. So it was supposed to be the lid, could act as kind of a saucery plate. It had utensils that folded. So like this particular one, it's just a folding strainer. So it would hook on like there, allow you to strain noodles, what have you. Also a folding ladle. Which way did this go? A folding spatula. That also didn't get as washed as it. So I guess these are going to go in the dishwasher. And I had like 2 little utensil things. You couldn't take this to the airport if you wanted to. Not because of the knife, but because it's serrated. Even though it's plastic. But then it also had these little seasoning containers. Or I may have added the seasoning containers, but they fit in here just nice. So we got the salt, the pepper, seasoned salt, a couple other seasoning here. And these might, I don't know, I haven't popped these open. They should be okay. Chicago seasoning is pretty good for burgers. That's a Penzies thing. Dill. Let's see what else. 3001 spice. That's a barbecue blend. Onion flakes. Little things. All for making the food taste better. Put these back in here. And then, so we were at not Queen's Prize, Melee's and Mayhem, we just got done with. The Crown came in and they kind of give out some swag, largesse stuff for the events. Like here's a nice thing for your people who put together this thing for us. So the thing I kept was there was this lovely spice kit in a bag that someone had put together. So I held on to that, and it looks like a good chunk of this is like period type spices. So we have like a curry powder, raw sugar, herbs de Provence, cloves, pie spice, kind of the normal cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ginger, cloves, fun stuff. And then a grinder, pepper and salt, and then a garlic pepper seasoning. So I'm like, wow, those are perfect. I will just put them in the camp kitchen. And then I'll have all the seasonings we could probably really need for going to a big event, like, camping at Lily's, or probably even going to Penzic. There's probably plenty, especially when it's just the 2 of us. We did kind of a smaller setup, similar to this, for Penzic for all 2 weeks, with the exception of the couple times we ate out. Everything got cooked out of something similar to this. Mr. Atwood was not as thrilled with it, simply because the stove I used was not their preferred one. So, but they're very safety conscious. So, oh yeah, there was also cinnamon. So fun stuff. So I will put this back real quick. Nice part about how this all just kind of fits back in here. It all locks in on itself for the most part so far. once I get some other things, I'll be able to put some, get this up here. I'll be able to put in some plates and bowls and forks and spoons and things like that. Probably for the two of us, but we have some stuff for, we could do the whole family if we really wanted to. Let these out so they can be washed. Put these back in. I'll have to put like its own dedicated cooking knife back in here. So this is something I learned from emergency management and stuff like that. If you have a kit that has a specific job, leave everything in it. Don't pull it out for when you go to do other things, because you'll probably forget to put it back, and then you go to get it and it's not there. It's a pretty common thing. So basically let it do its job and then keep it in there for doing its job. So we'll probably also put like a smaller container for like holding the utensils so they're not like jostling around all over the place. A couple other things. Let's see here. While I'm thinking about it, and I have it here. This is going to be a major difference, okay? When it's, so this is me and Mr. Atwood, maybe the kids, you know, this is the cooking thing. There's a, you know, as before, there's more stuff that goes in there. But when it's just me, I have another one of those little coffee things that can go in here. In it is a little kind of Esbit kit. This is more geared towards ultralight campers and stuff like that. It has kind of like a mini saucepan. Okay, you can make coffee. You can make ramen in this. You got to do it carefully, but you can do it. And then there is the bigger pot, which I would say is safer for making your ramen or your whatever's in. And then for me, I have, this is called a Georgia Mini Heat. It is a denatured alcohol stove. Burns real clean. I made the mistake of running some alcohol through here. It's like 90% isopropyl. It burns dirty. It leaves soot everywhere. I need to clean it up from the last time I used it. That's the other thing. Clean your stuff. Put it back. Helps it last longer. But for this particular setup, so in here is the stand for the pot. You can put like an Esbit tab on there. You can put a Trangia on there. This is the Esbit knockoff version with the sliding damper. Okay, equally as good as a Trangia. Use both. It's got the tamper lid, but it's also got the lid for keeping your denatured alcohol from evaporating out and, you know, keeping it all closed up. This would sit on here. You'd light it up. Ideally, for this size, you're not going to have the insert in there. Okay, you can see the soot from the alcohol coming off in the hand. Sits down in there. Okay, and then this sits on top, or this sits on top. You know, a lot of these things that are cooked in here are like those mountain house meals, things like that. Those are overpriced. You can do stuff from Knorr and things like that and get a significant more amount of food for a fraction of the price. Okay, just putting that out there. And then there's the stove for the denatured alcohol, or the container for the denatured alcohol. This has two options. See this little nozzle here, the hose from this can connect onto it, or basically you screw it on while it's upright like this, and then when you're ready to go, you turn it over and it self-speeds to the stove. Okay, that way it doesn't overflow, things like that, and then you don't have to worry about squeezing more alcohol into the stove. This has it's a welding pad. It's a fireproof thing. Basically, it has a ring and a little, donut on there of this padding material. It soaks up the alcohol. The alcohol burns. It doesn't burn this part. And then this is just a machined piece of aluminum. Okay. When you're just by yourself and you're comfy doing this kind of cooking, this setup is small. It's great. I can put this with my little grease pot, coffee pot thing. I'm golden. My little skillet, whatever. Have all my little utensils in here. Have a bottle of water. I can put a little mini cutting board and stuff. I've taken care of myself out of this thing lots. So, let's see, what else can we do while I have this out so it all makes sense. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you. I'm going to go grab our feast gear. This is not our regular feast gear. This is our travel feast gear that we don't care about if it really gets broken. Okay. It's like special ninja feast gear. And it also give me a chance to wash this off and put some of this in the kitchen to get washed. Because I was a slacker. Okay. So I will be right back and we'll move on to the next bit. Alrighty. Almost had a panic attack thinking I'd almost thrown this away in the purge of stuff. That was no fun, I tell you. So this is just a simple soft-sided cooler. It has seen better days. Okay. There you go. Now theoretically this can go in here with everything else. Okay. Would I use this as my primary cooler? Only if it was me and maybe a day or two. Nothing horrendous. It does not keep things cold, near as cold as it could. I think if I was going to do anything, I would modify it a little to have some Solflex, basically insulation stuff. Basically, it's a bubble wrap that's wrapped in tin foil, essentially. Basically, it creates an insulation barrier. I have one on one of my camping mats. Kind of nice. However, though, we have two. These were Dollar Tree when it was still Dollar Tree table mats for place settings. Okay, makes a nice little cleaning area rug for putting your feast gear on. And then we have our wonderful find from Big Lots. And everything is just dirty. Okay, so Big Lots have these melamine plates with Middle Eastern motifs and things on them for oh my god, cheap. We're talking a buck. Um, so we have 2 large, almost, these would be big dinner plates or more like serving kind of plate type of thing. And then we have 4 smaller to regular size plates and 4 bowls. And then we refer to this as the trash bowl, but it's like a salad bowl. But, you know, I think the only thing you can't really do is not recommended for the microwave. Other than that, I mean, these things are near indestructible. You have to try and smash them. They drop on the floor. They're not likely to break. We have some, well, they're basically fake plastic blown glass cups that we found at Target. We have some kind of bluer tinted ones and then some clear ones. And we also have a pitcher. So the plan is basically all this stuff can go in here with the stuff that's already in here, and then I don't have to think about it. I can just grab it and we can just load it and it's ready to go. As long as I remember to put everything back, wash everything when we're done with it, you know, etc. But really, you just need some more pot pan type items, mainly a pan, kind of more skillety pan than anything. Mainly because, you know, things we cook like that, skillet works just fine. Maybe kind of one of those deeper skillets. So you could do more saucy type things if you wanted to. You know, a couple more utensil type items. You know, knife. You know, maybe a couple kitchen knives. Nothing horrendous. I'm not breaking things down. A lot of your stuff you're going to take to events is going to be as pre-prepped as possible. So, and even though this would be in there, this is, you can pack things into it. You can hold items that you don't want to necessarily get banged, clanged around. Not everybody agrees with it, but I've traveled with eggs, you know, that aren't kept cold. They do just fine, especially with if you're within a couple days and it's not, oh my god, hot. I used to keep chickens, so as long as you don't wash off the membrane, you know, the coating that's on the egg itself, they last quite a while at outside temperatures because, well, as long as they're not fertilized, they're just sitting there. It does take a while for them. So, but I've done like a little 6-pack of eggs. I've done some stuff. I have put in different things, like I'll get canned chicken breast. I don't have to worry about refrigerating that. Get some of the Nor sides, you know, that type stuff. Put it all in here. Who knows? Maybe just for a demonstration, I'll go clean off the counter and we'll cook from this stuff to show it can be done. And I'll use some of the stuff that I've got for dinner sometime. That way you can know that, yes, it can be used. Okay? So, there is more to go in here. I keep sounding like a broken record. Yeah, there's more that could go in here. There's little things, though, like a little thing of foil, a little thing of trash bags, so maybe a little thing of some Ziploc baggies. You know, just small kitchen knife, you know, type stuff to make your life easier. It's disposable. Now, I'm not saying trash the planet. I'm saying disposable, ideally, like recyclable things. I know, like Palantir, for like our big camping events, we've put a focus on having recycling available. So if you're doing that, like you have foil, instead of plastic, things like that. Makes a little difference. All the little bits add up. Other than that, it's kind of it at the moment. Maybe that's the plan. I'll get everything kind of cleaned up, put back together, and then we'll do a little cooking video. See how show how it works. All these little things to make your SCA life easier, cheaper. So, just to give you an idea, all said and done, this is probably less than $50 put all in. The stove itself, I think, was $20. It might have been less because it was on sale. The cutting board was like $5. This one was already had. These little things aren't really necessary. Butane is actually just a couple bucks. The grease pot was like $6. That was a while ago though, but it's multi-use. This was a little cooler we had for in the car. The seasonings came from some largesse stuff, so they were effectively free, or they can just come from home, things you're part of your normal kitchen budget, shopping. Little things, the tote I already had, I just marked it as the camp kitchen. Just had it all ready to go. Probably one of the bigger expenses was the plates, but those themselves were probably less than $15, and that's for a 4-person set. We do have some more period style silverware, but they're tucked away in the more travel-y stuff for like when we attend feasts and stuff like that. So these were $1. Kind of go for there. Maybe, yeah. Keep saying maybe. Keep repeating myself. Welcome to the life of an ADHD adult. So, anyway, that's kind of it. Hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll talk to you later.